What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Foutaises Talks. I'm your host, Brandon Daniel, aka the Winterfell Soldier, and to my right is STLK, the Lion King himself, Simba Barasa.
What's happening, y'all?
And we're here to give you an update of NBA free agency. About a week after we last one, a lot of people have been signed. There's been a lot of trades. We don't even know what's going on so far. The NBA is going to be very different next season, and I'm very excited for it. But let's go through a few players and see where they ended up. So the first person is Goran Dragic. He signed 5 years back to the Heat.
I think the Heat was a good fit for him. Looking at last season, he played mediocre. I would say he came from being Steve Nash's prodigy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And when he was playing for the Suns, he was a lot better point guard, a lot better player. I don't know if it was because of the players that were surrounding him in the Phoenix Suns, or it's the players that are in Miami, but the chemistry is just not there. Like, I get he's a great point guard, but it's not really that chemistry that he had with Phoenix is not really there with Miami. So I don't really know why they give him that full contract of 5 years. Maybe they should have tried out for another year or two. You know, because he's not really. I wouldn't say Goran Dragic is a franchise player.
He's not a franchise player, but he is a starting point guard.
Yeah,
and he has potential to be an all-star.
I would say he's a starting point guard depending on the team you put him on. Like there's a certain caliber of point guards that are guaranteed starting point guards. You can look at Chris Paul, Stephen Curry, Rajon Rondo. You can look at Kyrie Irving, Deron Williams. When you hear those names, it's like, although they are, I think they're all all-stars. They're all all-stars. Yeah, they're all all-stars, but they're all like starting point guards. So when you hear those names, you just think starting point guard. But when you hear Goran Dragic, it's like, yeah, he's a starting point guard for the Miami Heat because they didn't have a good point guard. I mean, Chalmers is... So if you put him on certain teams, he can be a starting point guard. He's like... I don't want to compare him to... He's like Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is... He is a starting point guard, but he's not a great starting point guard. You can replace Isaiah Thomas. You can replace Dragic. That's how I feel. Depending on the team. If the team doesn't have a good point guard, then yeah, put him in.
But see, you're replacing him with like the elite players, though, right? The elite point guards in the league.
I would even say Kyle Lowry is a starting point guard. Depending on with how he played last season.
With how he played last season,
he's a
definite
starting point guard.
But I feel like this is Dragic now. Like, he's used to the system. He's used to the city. He's better, like, the team is more accustomed to each other. Hopefully, they develop that chemistry a bit better. And I think that he could have a good season.
I mean, yeah.
I think he can have a really good season this year.
I'm just surprised that they gave him 5 years. I would say give him 2, maybe stretch it to 3, but 2 years out of it.
Well, that's the thing. Also, people don't want to sign 2-3 year contracts, right? They want to know that they're guaranteed to stay there, and they're gonna have their home there for 5 years or whatever it is, right? Yeah, and then you sign 5 years. That's the max you can sign, right? Yeah. So you sign the max, and you know that, okay, I'm gonna be here for 5 years. I know I'm gonna live here for 5 years. This is gonna be my team, type of thing, and it's safety for them as a player, right?
I can see that. I can see the reasoning behind that, but I will see, man. Hopefully, they build that chemistry and they're able to work it out.
Now the Spurs got Danny Green for 4 years.
He came back?
$45 million. But think about that.
Yeah, I said that's the same amount Stephen Curry got.
4 years, $45 million.
He got $44 million. Because but then again, he had the whole twisted ankle and the whole situation. They cut him short. But like, they gave him $45 million. Danny Green, and I understand 2 years ago when he was on fire, lighting up Miami Heat.
Right.
He was doo this year.
He was bad. He was bad. But I think they feel like he could have a resurgence. He can come back to what he was, especially with like Ginobili getting a bit older. Green's gonna have to pick up the slack even more now. And I mean, considering like that, they got him cheap. Because like he would maybe have signed close to, if not a max contract, if he was playing the way that he can play. But since he didn't, they basically cut his salary in half, as what it would be. and they got him back
for 4 years.
And now the Spurs are going to be amazing again if Danny Green can play like Danny Green can play.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it goes to the owners. They get to see what it's like for these players when they're practicing, whereas we only see the game. So I guess maybe they've probably seen an improvement in him. I'll give him that credibility to say maybe he's improving in practice and they see it.
Yeah.
Or he's getting back his form or whatever it is.
Whatever
that made them sign him for 4 years.
Right, yeah, exactly. Now, the Raptors are hometown Raptors, who we love very
Shout out to the squad, we the North. They
signed DeMarre Carroll for 4 years, $60 million. How do you feel about this?
First of all, where did Masai get $60 million? Where do the Raptors have enough cap space to get $60 million? Okay, true.
Just think about it, we're paying Amir Johnson $60 million. Well, we were paying him $60 million. I don't know how much we were paying, but we were still paying him a lot of money though.
See, that's why I feel really good about this this decision because I really wanted Amir gone.
Yeah.
But the question that came to me was who would replace Amir once he left?
Right.
Like who are we going to get in return? And DeMarre Carroll is a great player.
He is a great player.
Great player.
But I'm worried about that because he had a great season. Don't get me wrong, but he also played in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Under what's the coach's name? Mike.
Oh, don't kill
me. Budenhauser or something, or is that a different coach? I don't know. But he was the assistant coach for the Spurs before, right?
Oh yeah.
And he used the Spurs offense in Atlanta, which is why they were successful. Now with DeMarre Carroll coming to Toronto and knowing that Casey's more of a defensive coach, right? And Carroll's a great defensive player. Is his offense going to be as well as it was in Atlanta? I don't think so. But we definitely need his defense here because we struggle a lot in defense.
Yeah. Well, I think his offense has the potential to be as good as when he's in Atlanta, if not better, because if he's coming into a defensive coach's style of play and he's a great defensive player, right, that in itself might create opportunities for him down the stretch. Yeah. Right? And he might get down in the low post and be able to put up points if we need it because DeRozan can't really do it by himself.
No, he can't.
As much as I like DeRozan.
Yeah, Lowry will step it up.
So
T-Ross, step it up.
Oh, T-Ross, oh man, don't even start with T-Ross, man.
What are you doing? Terrence? What are you doing?
T-Ross, I don't know why. We forget that last season. We forget. That's the last season.
Gotta come back. But, I mean, for a replacement for Amir Johnson, the Raptors just signed Bismack Biyombo.
I'm like, who is that?
He's been a backup center for a few teams.
Oh, okay.
So he can come in and give us some solid minutes. I feel like he can fulfill that Amir Johnson role.
I think they're gonna use him in the sense of thinking of Coach Casey and how he's been using his players. Yeah. Looking at that season, I think it's gonna use him like a more of a Tyler Hansbrough kind of thing, where you come in, grab boards, get us the boards, give the shooters the ball, and let them control the offense. Right. I think that's gonna be the role that he's gonna get. Yeah. Not necessarily. I don't think we're gonna look onto him to get us the points when we need points, but like more to get us the boards and give Kyle Lowry the ball, give Lou Williams the ball, give DeRozan the ball, like pass it to DeMarre Carroll the paint, like stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Raptors, a more defensive team next season, perhaps.
Oh yeah, hopefully, man.
Now the Cavs have re-signed Kevin Love to a max contract, 5 years, $110 million. I was
surprised.
I wasn't
surprised.
I wasn't surprised so much because, like, I understand why he'd want to go back because this is his best chance of getting back to the finals next year. Which, I mean, everyone's like, okay, the finals is gonna be Cavs and either Warriors or Spurs. Like, everyone says that. Right?
Yeah,
that's probably gonna be the case. Yeah. So it makes sense to me that he's gonna want to go back and get to the finals, especially because after being in Minnesota for so many seasons and not even seeing a single minute in the playoffs, and going to the finals, he's like, I'm not even going to risk going to the team and never going back to the finals again. I want to get to the finals and try to win. That makes sense to me. Now, what I hope happened, and what I was saying in the other video, was that he signed and he was like, "Look, I'm coming back, but you guys got to change the offense up, right? Can't be running ISO all game. That's not gonna work. You got to run plays for me. I can't be standing out in the 3-point line all game, right? Let me get in the post. Let me get those offensive boards, and we're gonna win a championship."
Yeah, I mean that's smart because looking at how they used Kevin Love last year, he wasn't at his all-star performance level.
No, not at all. Weren't using close. A lot of people were talking shit about Kevin Love. You know what? Fuck those people because you don't know what you're talking about. Kevin Love is arguably the best big man in the league, and I hate that Blatt used him that way. It's bullshit.
No, it's true though. Like a lot of people were talking shit because they don't understand the type of player that he is. You can't just because he was in Minnesota and he was shooting threes and he was scoring threes. But if you look at his style of play, he was in the paint. He was going to paint, hard in the paint. He was scoring points. That's where most of his points are coming from. Although he's a great 3-point shooter. Amazing. But you can't keep him out there just because you guys have LeBron and you have Kyrie Irving to be able to control the ball. You can't keep him outside and keep him on the 3-point line. Just use him for that. Like you have to fully use Kevin Love. You have to give him the 3-ball when he's open for the 3-ball. Give him the ball in the paint and let him control that paint. Let him post up and let him get the points. Let him grab the boards. Let him put back the ball in the basket, not having to look for LeBron James. LeBron James is not the center of the universe.
Exactly.
Okay? Kevin Love and LeBron can work together. They could have a strong chemistry that could surpass
his Miami days?
Yeah, his Miami days. And possibly help them get closer to winning a championship. I won't say win a championship, but closer. Maybe like Game 7 to win a championship. Well, they might win a championship, but who knows? Maybe Stephen Curry will be injured that whole season.
Oh God, no, not gonna win.
Klay Thompson will have mono.
Not gonna win. No way. Yeah. And they also re-signed Shumpert.
Oh yeah,
there's that.
Shumpert is known for. I think he's known for his defense more than his offense.
Yeah.
Looking how he was playing for the Knicks, but if you look at how he played in the playoffs, Klay was killing him. Curry was killing him. Like Dellavedova was playing better defense than Iman.
Yeah.
Like that's so. I mean, yeah, they could sign him and just use him for that, but he's not really a consistent player. He's not somebody.
But at the same time, I feel like he's exactly the type of player the Cavs need. I mean, because he's going to go out there and he's going to play hard. He's not going to command the ball, right? He's going to defer to Kyrie. He's going to defer to LeBron, right? He can play good defense sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
But, and if he has a chance to shoot on the 3-point line, then he's going to shoot. And if he makes them, because he can shoot, right? Like he's inconsistent, but like that's what they need. They just need someone. If you look at the Cavs, like most of their team is like they have the big men who can get boards.
Yeah, they do.
They got LeBron and Kyrie who just play ISO and run the ball, and then they have 3-point shooters. That's it, right? So that's exactly what they want for their offense.
But it's like, yeah, it's true. But Iman, when I see him play, like I compare his style of play to Tony Allen, where like Tony Allen is a better defensive player, obviously, than Iman. But if Iman can get to that level of being such a great defensive player, they won't like need his offense.
Right?
They won't need it. They'll just look for him to get them the ball, play hard defense, like how Tony Allen was playing great defense on Klay and Curry before Curry deciphered his whole code and destroyed him.
Yeah.
But so if he can get that sense of play and play that great and improve on his defense, he can be a worthy player to have on your squad. It'd
be like Bruce Bowen.
Yeah.
Back in the day, for the Spurs.
Yeah, that's what they need right there.
So the Suns signed Brandon Knight and Tyson Chandler.
I feel bad for Brandon Knight.
I mean, he's had an interesting career, but the Suns. There's no way the Suns are making the playoffs next season.
No way.
There's no way. Their team is done. They can't. Like, Brandon Knight's a good point guard, and Tyson Chandler is a good defensive center and rebounder. But
I think he reached his peak.
Yeah, he reached his peak
4 years ago. I remember when he was playing for the Knicks. and the whole season it was incredible. I think that's the season where Carmelo Anthony became the leading scorer of the NBA, where Tyson Chandler would be in the paint, and so like so say the opponent shoots whatever, the ball hits the rim, he would swat the ball out instead of like grabbing, he would swat it. Melo grabs it, tray every time. Melo grabs it, tray. Like I feel like that was when he reached his peak. From that moment, he just been not good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Good luck for the Suns. I mean,
Suns are not making playoffs. I'm fairly confident that.
Those are not two very serious assets to put on your squad.
Right. The Celtics signed Amir Johnson and Jonas Jerebko. So
they're not making playoffs.
I mean, it's the East. So they can end up in 4th place for all we know.
Man, Boston made what they were 8th last year.
7.
Who they faced?
They faced Cat in the first round.
Yeah, so they were 7.
Yeah.
They were 7. Yeah, I don't make. They might get to 8, or they might not make playoffs at all because Amir Johnson is not somebody you want to rely on. I'm sorry to say, he loved Toronto, and Toronto didn't really send the love back because he wasn't really playing well. But good luck to Boston with the
overpaid.
Yeah, we overpaid him so much. Good luck to Boston with him.
Now, my favorite team, OKC, they signed Kyle Singler for 5 years, $25 million. This is an interesting signing. Singler, ever since he got out of the college, he hasn't really done anything too much. So he must have shown them something
to make
for them to be like, all right, we want you back, and you're going to be a valuable role player on our team, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm hoping he comes out and starts to play like he did in college a little bit, starts scoring. Because OKC,
they're trying to.
We need more scorers on the bench.
They're trying to build the James Harden.
Yeah, I mean,
they're trying to build another. James
I was thinking
Harden.
about the other day. Like, could you imagine if the Thunder had just instead of saying we're not going to pay Harden more money, and they gave him the max.
Mm.
And you still had Harden, Durant, and Westbrook on the same team.
It would have been over.
Oh my god!
It would have been over. Like you have
holy crap.
Harden dropping 40 points. Durant can do that anytime he wants. Then you got Westbrook, who's also doing triple doubles. Like
triple double machine.
Like it's nothing. Like this team will be unstoppable. It'll be unstoppable. Like they'll probably win championship this year.
There's an alternate universe where they're on a team together and just winning championships.
And just winning bare championships. Oh man.
So now, Paul Millsap re-signed to the Hawks for 3 years. I was kind of sad about this because I wanted to see Millsap go somewhere else.
Where?
Maybe the Raptors.
Paul Millsap. When I hear Paul Millsap, I think Atlanta Hawks. That's his team. That's where he belongs.
When I hear Paul Millsap, I think Utah Jazz because that's where
really?
That's where he's originally from. But I can see what you're saying. Now he's with the Hawks, and I can understand why he resigned. The Hawks did really well last season. He was a very instrumental part of that.
Yeah,
and they're gonna do really well this season again.
You think they're gonna play as well as they did?
I don't think they need to play as well, but I think they will easily get to at least the 5th or 4th seed.
I don't think they're gonna reach 60 wins again.
No, not 60 wins. Probably 40 something.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard for them to scratch 50, just like how it was for Raptors.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, good luck to Atlanta. Now, Paul Pierce assigned to the Clippers.
Yo, do you know how happy I was to know Paul Pierce is not in the East anymore?
Yeah.
Yo, I was like, yo, Raptors! It's gonna be if we can finally make the second round. Paul Pierce not there to drop daggers and destroy us. He's not there anymore. Raptors, we have a chance. Whatever team we face, if we end up being 4th, 5th seed, whatever team it is we face, I think we have a chance now to make it to the second round. But as far as Paul Pierce going into the Clippers, I feel like it was good for him because there's that connection with him and Doc Rivers. Yeah. Because of Boston. So I think Clippers are going to be a way better team now. Paul Pierce is that type of player. I think so. He's that type of player where he's going to... I think he's the missing piece that they needed when they faced Houston.
I can see that.
I think
that scorer who comes off the bench, a veteran player who knows what he does, and you can get out and just drain the energy out of your team with shots.
Ignite his teammates to follow up and to motivate them to score, to drive, to grab boards, and keep moving, keep the ball moving.
But see, now here's the problem, because the Clippers just lost DeAndre Jordan, who signed to the Mavericks. Right?
Jeez.
So, the Mavericks lost Tyson Chandler, but then they got DeAndre Jordan. Now, and Wesley Matthews also signed to the Mavericks.
Jeez.
Right?
Oh, man.
And Monte Ellis signed to the Pacers. Now, this is a lot of things here.
Yeah.
So, let's put this apart. So, first of all, Ellis signed to the Pacers. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
Ellis, you know what? I would say that is possibly the best free agent deal of this whole free agent.
Really?
I would say so.
Really?
I would say Montel's going to Pacers because think about it. Who did the Pacers have?
Paul George.
I mean, they got Paul George.
Danny Granger.
I think he left, bro.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he left. He was on the Heat.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I forget about that.
Yeah, he's on the Heat. So I mean, like Paul George, they need a Paul George to come back. I think they have what's his name? Is it George Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got George Hill, David West. I don't know if Roy Hibbert's staying. There's still speculation on that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think DeAndre Jordan said he wanted to go to the Pacers, but he didn't want to go for Hibbert staying. So he went to Mavericks, but whatever. That's all. Doesn't matter now.
Yeah, I mean.
So like, what I'm saying is like, now they got Monte Ellis, and look at how I'm surprised Dallas let Monte Ellis go. This guy saved them.
Yeah.
Last year, he saved them so many times. He's an underrated player. I feel like Monte Ellis. With the whole thing on Monte Ellis, they underrate him so much because sometimes he's inconsistent, but when he's playing on a consistent basis, bro, this boy can play. This boy can play ball. Like, I think he deserved to be an All-Star last year. He deserves to be an All-Star. So now going into the Pacers, he's exactly what they needed for them to make the playoffs last year if he was on their team. They got Paul George, who's now going to be healthy because he didn't play.
He's coming back better than ever.
And I think he grew again.
Yeah,
I saw he got moved to. So he got moved to small forward. Or he was shooting guard, not small forward. I saw he not.
Well, they signed Ellis, so he's definitely
he's definitely going to be a small forward. But I swear he can play power forward. He grew more inches. I don't know why he kept growing, but yeah, he grew. So I feel like with that duo of Paul George and Monte
scorers,
scorers, if they're able to work together,
they're gonna be deadly.
It's places.
But that's the thing about Monte. Like he's played with a lot of great shooters, and I don't know if he necessarily gels well.
I think that's the problem. The problem with him is he hasn't found that backcourt mate or that other person on the team who they can like work together and be the two guys to like uplift the team.
Right.
I'll say Lowry and DeRozan have that, but they're not that good. They're not that good, but they do have that, and obviously Clay and Steph, who doesn't know Steph Williams, right? So he's just looking for that other person, and I think that's why I'm saying this is the best deal because I think him and Paul George could be that. I feel like they can be that. They're both when things matter. Like you can tell when you're watching the game, you can look at their face and you can tell how much they want to win the game and control this game. Yeah, when they're playing, and with that same mindset, put it together, it's gonna be deadly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how the Pacers do this season, and they're definitely gonna make the playoffs. I feel like they're gonna do some damage this year. Shooters on deck. Now, get back to the Mavs. They signed Wesley Matthews, and they signed DeAndre Jordan.
I don't know why Portland let Matthews go. He was a solid player for Portland.
He was a solid player for Portland, but they want to change because they had the same team for so many years, and they keep getting bounced out of the playoffs early on, right? Yeah. So it's like, I mean, yeah, it's good to make the playoffs, but at the same time, you want to build your team to win championships. And if you know that this team is not good enough to win championships, I feel like the Blazers right now, they're just like, all right, blow it up, we'll try to start fresh, right, and see how far we can get, because they still got Damian Lillard there, right?
Yeah,
you know, trying to, because they re-signed him, right, for 5 years, and like,
but they need that 3-point shooter, man. That's what they had in Wesley Matthews.
Yeah,
he was a game changer. Like, you know, 2K, Wesley Matthews game changer.
Yeah. Oh my God, when I used to use the Blazers back in the day.
Yeah, for real.
God. But signing DeAndre, I think that's a great pickup for Mavs and a huge loss for the Clippers. Because I'm thinking about it this way. I mean, DeAndre may not be the best offensive player, but he's great at setting screens.
Yep.
And he's great at getting offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Which are instrumental
to winning a game.
Exactly. And when you got Dirk Nowitzki playing power forward and you got DeAndre Jordan playing center.
Yeah.
Cool. Right? Like, DeAndre's just going to have the paint and Dirk is going to have free reign for the first time in years, maybe.
Yeah.
To shoot at will, because he knows that if he misses, DeAndre is going to either put that back or get that board.
Okay,
and if you're running pick and roll with Dirk and DeAndre, are you kidding me? Your team is going to be screwed.
Yeah, DeAndre is more of a threat than Tyson Chandler was. I'd say that.
Way more.
Because just as quick as he can grab an offensive board, he can put it back up.
Yeah.
He can put it right back up. Like, you know, he's quick. Like, he's a big man, but he's quick like that. And when he dunks, stand back. You don't want to be in front of that, right? So yeah, like you said, that made perfect sense. Dirk is going to find himself open more in the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And, you know, Dirk can shoot. Everybody knows Dirk can shoot. So.
Not to mention that DeAndre is the best defensive center in the league.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be
so now, everyone who's going to play the Mavs, you're going to have to try to score on DeAndre.
That's intimidating. I don't think...
You know?
Intimidating alone to think about that.
They're going to do some damage, man.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see that team.
I think the Mavericks are going to do pretty well.
I want to, when I have a chance, I hope, because, like, you know, in 2K, like, how somebody, like, unofficially updates all the teams, and so you can get, like, all the new teams. I hope someone does that soon, so I can see what all the new teams look like and play with them.
Oh, it's
That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I'll try to play with Mavs. It'd be interesting.
Yeah. Who's next? The Warriors were signed Draymond, as we expected.
What?
I mean, why would Draymond leave? They just won the championship. There's amazing chemistry there. He's like the team general on the floor, right? He helped, like, he loves the city. The city loves him. The team's a perfect fit. They're probably gonna go to the finals again.
Yeah, it
makes sense.
He's playing with family. Like, why would you leave that to go start a new family?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So it's like, yeah, it makes sense for him to stay.
Now the Bulls re-signed Jimmy Butler,
as they should,
which is good for the Bulls. It looked really scary there for a second, like he was gonna leave.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, and the Bulls go like,
but yeah, if they lost Jimmy Butler, it's like they haven't. I mean, Derrick Rose is amazing, but it wasn't. He didn't go back to the way he was.
His injuries are just
So,
but he played really well last season, though.
No, he let's give him credit for that. Like,
he played really well.
Having 2 knee injuries and coming back and playing that well, like, kudos to you, man.
I'm just gonna see who's other. We're running a little bit long, so I'm gonna see who's like the really. Wade resigned to the Heat.
Oh yeah, that 1-year contract.
1 year, $20 million, as Dwayne Wade.
I'm surprised he signed that, but because they give Dragic friggin' 5 years, and you don't give Wade your franchise player.
He didn't want to sign more years,
so they just give him 1 year.
Maybe he's like
testing the water.
Like, I want to sign, and I want to see how we do, and if we do bad, maybe I'm gonna leave.
And they're willing to agree to that because he's that good of a player.
Yeah.
Dang. It was good to be an all-star, man.
It's good to be an all-star. There's a lot of other little signings here and there.
Yeah, of course.
Rondo signed to the Mavs. To the Kings for 1 year, 10 mil.
Yo.
How do you feel about that?
I
don't know what the Kings are doing.
I'm like, why?
They traded away like half their team.
Yeah.
And then now they're just like trying to like fish for free agents, and then you sign Rondo for like. And does anyone really want to play with Rondo? Like, I understand Rudy Gay's there, and Rudy was like enticed Rondo to go there, and I understand they have Rudy and they have Rondo and they have DeMarcus.
Yeah,
so they have a decent team.
Yeah.
But the problem is the attitudes of those players.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Because Rondo and DeMarcus.
Yo, those dudes.
No.
Yeah, DeMarcus is not a chill dude, and I don't know if it's just me, but I've never seen Rondo fit well with any other team than Boston.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see him fit with any other team. I don't know. I'm not trying to predict and say, oh, dude, second round is gonna suck because they got Rondo now. He's a plague to any team that they sign.
I think he'll do better than the last season.
But yeah, I think he's gonna be better.
I would like them to do well. I remember the Kings of the old days when they were a good team. You know, with like
Chris Webber
and Chris Webber. The old days, but
Stojakovic.
But yeah, it's just the players and their attitudes, and that's a problem because these are not like teenagers; these are grown ass men. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself in check, man. Like, what's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
So
excited to see that.
We shall see, and of course, we should mention that Anthony Davis.
Oh yeah.
Signed a massive contract. 5 years, 145 mil, I think.
Boy got paid, son. Wow. Boy got
insane. He deserves it. He played his ass off, and he is maybe going to be the best big man in the league.
If he's not already the best.
If he's not already the best, yeah.
He's gonna be the best. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Let's put it out.
He very well could be if he keeps playing this way.
And he's gonna improve. I see it.
And I still think that the Pelicans are gonna do even better next season than they did the previous season.
They're not making playoffs.
They are gonna do even better. How are they not gonna make the playoffs? This doesn't make any sense.
Not making playoffs.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yo, think about it. I was gonna say, OKC's gonna be back.
Yeah.
Durant's gonna be back. They're gonna make playoffs. They're already out.
Portland's not gonna make the playoffs next season.
Oh, but the thing is with Portland, if you look at their division, right? The only reason they made playoffs was because their division. They were the first team to win their division, so they're guaranteed fourth place in the Western Conference. That's the only reason why they stayed fourth.
Who else is in the division?
That's a good one. Off the top, I
don't know. Because like I feel like the Pelicans are gonna get even better next season, and they're gonna end up in the 6th or the 7th seed. I strongly feel like that's gonna happen. I can see that happening.
I think they're still gonna fight for 8th and they're gonna lose this time.
I don't think so.
Even if they get 8th, man, they're gonna face Warriors, another sweep.
Or they 7th and they face probably the Thunder.
That's another sweep.
They're not gonna be sweeps.
They're gonna get swept by the first and second team. Like, I'm sorry. Anthony Davis is a great player. He just needs to learn how to not get shot over by a 6'3" guard. Yeah. In Stephen Curry, who was shooting over him.
Right.
Like, he needs to just learn to. If he can manage to block a few of those shots, then he'll be, maybe better.
He'll be better. He's gonna get better. He's young. He's gonna get better. The team gonna get better. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. We'll see who ends up being right.
All right. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Okay, and last but not least, the big man, LaMarcus Aldridge, signed to the Spurs, 4-year, $80 million. Man, when this started, okay. Also, like Marcus Aldridge signed to the Grizzlies, probably.
Yeah.
So when this started, we said either Marcus Gasol, or Aldridge is going to go to the Spurs. Yeah. One of the two, right? And they ended up going with Aldridge, which I think for them is a better choice.
You think so?
Especially with Duncan getting older and maybe looking to retire the next season.
Definitely.
And the Spurs are stacked.
They are.
They have pretty much the same team as last year.
With an added all-star.
With an added All-Star.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That is no good.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and with Greg Popovich's style of play, like moving the ball, passing, getting the open player, getting the shot, and just have that ball.
They're going to have 5 players on the floor in the starting lineup, all of who can score.
It's going to be
and not just score, but like all-star level scorer.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting season, man. To be honest, I don't know. As good as they are, I'm looking at Spurs to. Yeah, I think they can make the Western Conference Final. Because it all depends on how well LaMarcus Aldridge is able to connect.
I think he will be able to connect, man.
Because his style. I mean, can't remember his.
He's more of like a face-up.
When he was playing in Portland.
Yeah.
I think the way they used him was they looked at him to try to get hot, right, and then when they really need him to use that streak, they'll like give him the ball, like okay, so like get hot and then all right, just cool down a bit, and then when we need you like later down the stretch, bring that heat and boom, like get us into the game, right. But like when you look at how Spurs play, they don't necessarily look at one player. Although Kawhi sometimes would take over.
He needs to take over more.
Yeah, he needs to do that more because he's the only player.
But now that he has Aldridge
can do that.
And Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and Danny Green
and now
Ginobili on the bench. Like, are you kidding me? Like, everyone can score. Popovich has amazing offense. That team is going to share the ball so well, and anyone they pass it to is going to score. And how can you guard that? Like, if you're not the Warriors or you're not the Cavs
or OKC, he's not gonna. Yeah,
I don't know how you can stop that.
I don't know if it's funny because we're talking about the Spurs and the whole playoffs was. The whole thing that was happening, it wasn't a playoffs like between Cleveland and Warriors. It wasn't a series for bigs, right? That's what they're saying. It wasn't a series for bigs. But if you look at Spurs and look at Tim Duncan's not going to play as much minutes as he was last year.
No, definitely not.
And that's beneficial to their team because when he came in, like he would score, but obviously he would get tired.
Tim Duncan. How well did he play? Like
Tim Duncan would score.
The shots that he was making was like. My God.
Man's old and he's controlling the pace. And when he would get tired, you could tell them they'll take him out. But now it's like he can always stay energized because LaMarcus is a younger player that is able to play more minutes, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to be able to, if they can use that well, it's going to be dangerous.
And it's Popovich, so you damn know for sure they're going to use that well.
Yeah.
And that team, oh man, they're definitely going to the Western Conference. Warriors versus Spurs,
that's what I'm saying.
I can see that happening.
So like Warriors might try to go small, but they're gonna need a big, as solid. I mean, Bogut is a solid big, right?
Oh yeah, Draymond.
And they got Draymond. Draymond can pretty much play defense on anybody because he's great. So I mean, if they can be able to use that and not rely on their small offense against Spurs, if they can use those Bogut and Draymond together, to face the Spurs, I think if they can improve that, they can be able to beat the Spurs. But if they rely too much on their small game, the Spurs are a clear chance to possibly take the West.
Yeah. Well, that was good. Us discussing our update on free agency. Maybe we'll bring another one to you guys in a few weeks, seeing how this ends up doing. Yeah. Thanks again for listening. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us at Foutaises. Follow me at Brandon DNH. Follow us at SLK03. All of this is in the description below. And we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right. Peace easy, y'all.